there are 4 common shading mistakes that you should avoid if you want realism in your artwork. I'll show each one with some examples and rules to follow to avoid them. The first and most common shading mistake is to make the reflected lights too bright. If you've been drawing for a while, I can pretty much guarantee that you've done this. We all do it. If you make your reflected lights too bright, they'll start looking too much like halftones. That's bad because it confuses the brain of the person that's looking at the image. So as a general rule, draw all reflected lights a little bit darker than what you see. You can always lighten them at the end. The second common shading mistake is to make the light halftones too dark. If you do this, you're going to flatten your drawing. I call this dirty lights, because tones that are supposed to look like shading often end up looking like smudges on the skin or whatever surface you're drawing. Making the light halftones too dark really kills the light effect. The rule is to keep the value changes in the light halftones very subtle to follow the light on form scale. The third mistake is not making the dark halftones dark enough. If you look right next to the Terminator, you can see a subtle white line or glow. It reminds me of a halo, so I call it the Terminator halo. Avoid it. The Terminator halo completely destroys the illusion of form. If you see the halo in your drawing, it just means that you have to push the darkest halftones darker in order to turn the form. Remember, it has to go really dark, really fast, just before the Terminator. The final common shading mistake is that many artists forget to include the ambient occlusion shadows. Ambient occlusion really increases realism, so make sure to put it in. Alright, to wrap this up, here's the egg drawing again, completely broken with all 4 mistakes. Let's fix each one. The reflected light is too strong, let's tone it down. The light halftones are too dark, let's fix that. The dark halftones are not dark enough, let's fix that too. And finally, the ambient occlusion shadows are missing, let's add them. Much better. Use this as a checklist. It's going to allow you to add a lot of realism and life to your drawings.